To get back to the football side, after we'd won the cup in '68, obviously the manager had changed that season because Willie Cunningham had decided he'd had enough and he left, and George Farrell had come in. So, what was George Farrell like as a manager?
George was clever because George didn't manage. I think George realised his limitations, and he realised he had senior players in the side that could play and were quite knowledgeable about how things should go. He obviously came in and would give a team talk as his manager, as the manager. But quite frankly, he didn't know what he was talking about. And there's always an old story went about that goalkeepers never make good managers. That was the saying. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But George came into that category, but he was clever because he would come in and introduce himself for the day and blah blah blah. You know what's expected of you, and you know what you can do, and stuff like that. He was telling the players to do what you do, because you know more than anybody what you can do. So we just went out in the park and we did what we can do, and we seen the players kind of manage the team. So, and George kept me on as captain. You could have made somebody else captain. You could have dropped me, and he could have dropped anybody. But he saw the nucleus of the team here. Why am I going to change that? These guys all know what they're doing. We're all senior pros. So he obviously didn't have the knowledge or the ability to tell us what to do, and he realised that. So he just let us do what we did, and we got on with it. But he was a nice enough man. He had his moments like everybody else, and for these moments, certain players hated him. But I just let it go, sort of thing, you know. I was thankful because when he came, I thought, oh, and I loved being captain. You know, I thought I was proud to be captain of Dunfermline. I thought, oh God, I would make somebody captain. I'm really panicking that I might lose the captaincy of Dunfermline. And he said, I'm keeping you on as captain. I said, so I've got to thank him for that. Apart from all the run-ins I had with him, and he sent me off at training down at McCain Park. Turned to Andy, and Andy sent him off, and he sent me off. So
what did you do wrong?
Oh, he said I was tackling. I was told him not to tackle at a practice match or something in case somebody got hurt. It's difficult to not do what you do by nature. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as a friendly game, because we didn't have friendly games in the playground. When it was 5 against 5 in the playground, you were trying to murder your best pal, because that's how it was, wasn't it? You're going to go, oh, I'm not going to tackle him because he's my pal. So we're all the way through, from the playground right through. As far as I'm concerned, there's no such thing as a friendly match. And if you have, I played in pre-season friendlies, and somebody's turning around and going, oh God, it's only a friendly. Huh? It's a game, isn't it? I'm not saying. I know it's the pre-season. You're getting yourself fit in this. You don't want to get an injury, but you just have to do what you do, and that's when you do pick up an injury if you don't do what you do. So. Anyway.
A couple of the players that we've spoken to already, and that were here at that time, have said that really it was Bert that organised the team on the park.
Yeah, Bert was good at that.
And they could see then that Bert would go into coaching or managing. He would be good at that. Yeah,
I agree with that. Bert was good at that. My role probably as captain would be to motivate. I think that was the thing that I did, and Bert did the complicated stuff. But he did. You could see that out. The very fact that people have mentioned that, and you knew Bert how he was, and I said earlier about Bert being my captain, speaks for itself, doesn't it? And even now, I mean, I see Bert as he's on the committee of the Former Players Association, and I am as well. And I see him on a regular basis, and we talk about the old days and stuff like that. And he's still the same. You know Bert's knowledge, and he knows what I gave to the team and my role. And we see Willie at the games. There's two Willies, Willie Renton and Willie Cal, and we talk at half time about the games. I remember that game and this and that. And they've all got their own take on different games and whose favourite game was that one and that one. That was my favourite game and stuff like that. But Bert was the one with the brain, and I did what I did was the motivation side of it. So if you didn't get up that park, you. Ian Lister used to say to me, he says, even when I thought I was having a good game, he said, you used to terrify me. Bless his soul. Funny, I was just talking to, you see me talking to Frankie out there. We're talking about going to Inverness. I'm digressing again. And he's going up to see the Bucky. So he's going to be staying at Inverness. And I said, I've only been to Inverness twice, and once was at Ian Lister's funeral. And I'd never been, and I wanted to go up really early and see what Inverness was like. And I got an early train up, had lunch, had a walk round, and I just said to Frankie, it's a terrific place, huh? But Ian was a terrific wee guy. And I could not go to his funeral kind of thing, and say cheerio. But he used to crack me up. When we used to meet after we'd finished our careers, he said, when I was having a really good game, he said, used to terrify me. I said, what did I do? She just looked at me. He was a lovely guy.
When you won the cup, you were talking earlier about the game against Celtic here, which we played after the cup final. They had won the league. Dunfermline had won the cup. So there were celebrations for both teams, and there was a massive crowd here. And invasion through the door as well. The gates got pushed in, and they were all along the roofs of the stadium.
Fantastic.
So, and you said you had your lap of honour here.
Yeah, that was just difficult to explain the feeling when you're involved in something like that. It's just the greatest moment of pride. The team was so proud. That's a good word to describe our team. We were a proud team. And the other, I've got photographs of me running around with a cup, and it was only later on it dawned on me I didn't give it to anybody else. And somebody said, "Pugsley, was that your cup?" Because I should have really been handing it back and letting somebody else get their picture taken. It's only later on you go, "Oh Jesus, I slipped up there." I should have said, "There you are, you pass it back," kind of thing, and I could have kept running without the cup. But God had it in my hand. I just thought it was mine. And then later on, I kind of quite regret, in some respects, not a lot, but a wee bit, that I never gave anybody else the cup, sort of thing, But that was a fabulous moment, wasn't it? Yeah. And it's a great picture, and you look at the people you're passing, and the crowd and everything. It's fantastic. I was at a dinner in Edinburgh last Sunday, the McRae's Battalion dinner, and I was really quite chuffed that some elderly chaps came up and were saying, well, I used to watch you when I was about 12 and stuff like that, and then now they've got grandchildren and stuff like that. People come here with their grandchildren and introduce them, but on Sunday it was really good because this chap came up and he says to me, "Do you remember?" He says, "Two wee boys sitting on your step waiting for you to come home so we could get your autograph." I was with the Hearts at the time. And he told me his age, and I worked it out. And I went, "You must have been about 13. And I'd be like 20 or something like that." He said, "Yeah," he says, "we were Dunfermline supporters. We came across from Dunfermline to get your autograph." What? Honestly? And then they're men, aren't they? They're granddads like me. But these wee moments, they're really nice, the old boys. It's great when they come across with their grandsons. Yeah. "See this man here, I used to support him." It's great. I'm going down to London this weekend, tomorrow. My youngest grandson's 3. But there we are, his pals. Running round. Keep digressing, sorry.
That's all right. In between that season and the next season, I think the club went on a tour, a long tour of USA and Canada.
That would have been Man City.
Yeah, which appeared to be quite strenuous because I remember speaking to Willie Callahan and he said it was a horrendous time.
Oh, it was tiring.
Yeah.
It was really, really tiring.
And then you put in a transfer request, is that right?
I did.
At the start of the next season. Why did you do that?
Oh, I thought it was kind of tight to move. I wanted to sample football at another level. And England seemed to be the place. I'd love to have played abroad. I'd love to have played in Italy. Italy was the country that were doing really well then, weren't they? They were the in country. But I'd love to have played there, or maybe Germany or something like that. And the next thing was the English Premier. I wanted to kind of find out if I could. So I put in the transfer and it was rejected, so I got annoyed and threw my toys out the pram, and me and George totally fell out because he wouldn't talk to me about it and stuff like that. I think that's why he sent me off down at McCain Park. So it was only that. It was only to try and sample football at a higher level. And when it was a time where England had won the World Cup, and that all these players, Charlton and Best and all these guys, you saw them on television every weekend. You used to think, oh, I wonder what it might be like. And you were going to grounds like Goodison and Stamford Bridge, they're 50 and 60,000 every week. So you could understand wanting to be doing something. With all due respect to, we'll just say Green Morton, who we were playing when I was here, and when I went down to England, you couldn't argue that my first 4 games were like Old Trafford, Goodison, Stamford Bridge, etc. So the argument was it was read in itself. So I just wanted to sample. I mean, I love this club to bits. I really, really do love this club. I'll be filling up in a minute, but I do, and I did then. But I just wanted to try it, to see how I would get on at a higher level. That was. And then as I say, I got fed up every day knocking on George's door, saying if there been any inquiries, because then when I asked for the transfer and it went public, there was speculation about, so and so's been looking at him and so and so's been, and I'd go every day, knock at the door. Any developments? No. And I'd be every day, no. So then him and I thought there must be somebody interested, surely.
But then, so you obviously then settled back down and to the team that season, and you again played in Europe, because as cup winners you played in Europe, and you scored your only goal, European goal.
Oh, against the Cypriots.
Yeah, Hapoel.
Yeah. My dog could have scored against Hapoel. I think every man in his dog scored against Hapoel. Oh dear. Oh.
But having scored not many goals for Dunfermline, I think you scored, was it 7 in total? Something
I've got no idea.
Yeah.
I was tempted to do a lot better than that one. Somebody would have tripped me up.
But then the next game that you played was against Olympiacos.
Oh, that goes down, and see, the biggest joy in the football is, say, winning your cup of your country. So we won the cup, and the joy of winning the cup is just, you couldn't duplicate it. It's just incredible, that feeling. But from a professional point of view, beating Olympiacos through there, what we had to achieve to beat them was incredible from a professional point of view. And the West Brom game, who we played later on in the tournament, when we went down there with a no-score draw and won down there, how we defended professionally. From a professional point of view, that game and the Olympiacos were my 2 best games. The Olympiacos one was just incredible. 4 up, they score 3 in whatever many minutes, and then we hold on, get a player sent off. And the crowd are going mental. These players were. There was one incident. We're defending a corner, and this guy come up and he grabbed me around the throat and pushed my head against the post, and he had me like that, and not to retaliate under that kind of aggression was just, for me anyway, was just a total miracle. But again, I think we were totally focused on, we want to win this game now, because they think they've won it, sort of thing. Very pure, we were into the game, and then we got a player sent off. People were still into the game. In our heads, we're going to win it. We're going to win this. It was just something in us. And for somebody to get me like that, and bang my head against the post, and I was like noddy, and then they took the corner and we got on with it. But the fouls and Bent Martin were blatant. They were just kicking him and thumping him, and the referee was just letting it happen. So from a professional point of view, these 2 games were in a way just as good as the cup final, but in a different, more of a joy one in the cup final, wasn't it? That was a professional achievement. These 2 games, they were just great stuff, brilliant stuff.
Because it was backs against the wall.
Totally incredible. But the defending started from the front. That's the other thing we used to talk about. Where does defending start? As soon as you lose possession up the other end, that's where it starts, isn't it? The front men become defenders right away, and it goes through the midfield to the back. So we had guys up front just running their socks off, closing down, and then the next line was the midfield, and then us at the back. So you could actually see the guys in front of us were doing a bigger job than, because they were softening them up before they reached us. But that was some time in that. A few sakis that night. No sake. What did they drink over there? No sake, is it?
I've never been in Greece.
Eh?
I've never been in
What's
Greece.
sake's Japanese or something. You'll have to edit this right enough. You say, "Whew, just as well as Welsh he didn't get his 11 plus."
You, I suppose, in a way, well, as what has been said, you were never happy with the way you were treated by referees.
No, it got kind of stupid. I was playing for Dunfermline against Hibs at Easter Road, and we kicked off, and Joe McBride got the ball, and I tackled him. I got booked. About 10 seconds. Even Joe got up. He says, "Ref, he never touched me." Joe was actually speaking on my behalf. I got the ball, and the referee booked me. I thought, I've had enough of this nonsense. And that's what started it. About this. And I went to strike, didn't I? That stupid strike. Although, in saying that, it turns into a good story, because I went, as I say, I went on this one-man strike, and I was sitting indoors where I should have been at training, and the phone went, and this voice on the other end goes, "Is that you, Roy?" I went, "Yes." "This is Jock Stein here." I went, "Ah, yeah, I'm the Pope." He went, "No, this is Jock Stein," and I'm killing myself laughing. I said, "Oh, come on, who's this?" "This is Mr. Stein." Bah. I went, "I'm sorry, Mr. Stein." Because the penny dropped, didn't it? It was. I'd never met him in all the time I played. I'd never met Jock Stein, honestly. So this voice at the other end going, "I can understand how you feel, and I sympathise with you, but you've got to go back to work." And that was the thing, that was the word that made such an impact on me. Work. Playing football was my job, so it was your work. Get to your work. He said, go back to work, and whatever you want for yourself might happen, but it'll not happen you sitting in the house. Go back to work. And I'll let out the phone. "Yes, Mr. Stein. Okay, Mr. Stein." And he went, "Good luck, sir." Put the phone down. That was it. And I went back the next day.
So why do you think he did that then? Was it a case of...
I have got no idea. That's it. Across my heart, that's a true story. That's a gospel truth.
That's amazing. So he must either have had felt something for the club,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you weren't playing, or the fact that he obviously liked you as a player and wanted you
Possibly.
to...
And then I thought, maybe he's going to buy me, sort of thing. Then I thought, didn't be stupid. He's got Billy McNeil and John Clark. So that was out of the equation. I've got no idea. But it was, as soon as he said, "It's Mr. Stein," and I got the voice right away in my head and everything, unless it was some really clever impersonator. But it was Jock. Honestly, just, and I came back the next day, and that was it. And then things just gathered speed, and I got transferred in the end, and I got to play in England. But I never ever met the man. But if that was, it was him. There was absolutely no way it wasn't Jock Stein. That was it. Anyway, that's my Jock Stein story. Good one, though, isn't it?
It was
Yeah.
really good.
That's
It's quite amazing, actually.
a good story.
Yeah.
It was just the word work made such an impact on me. It's fantastic. It was like when I used to work in the shipyards as a boy. You went to work, didn't you, in the morning? We all go to work. Well, not so much me now, but you do.
So you got your move to Coventry, and the club a tidy profit.
Oh, aye, a wee bit, aye. It wasn't a fortune, like, but
No, but it was a
it
profit.
was something.
So you went to Coventry, and you're also held in high regard in Coventry as well.
I know, it's great down there. They still like me. I go down for the Legends weekends still, and that's good. I think the next one is a big one next year. I think it's they won the cup won the cup in '86 or something. So it's so many years. Is it 40 years? Would that make 40 years? There's a certain number of years, so it's a big one next year.
So you got your opportunity to play against big teams down in England.
It was good.
So how did you like it?
I thrived on it. I thought it was fantastic playing against all the big names. You know, in the first month or so, who did the mark out the game? Bobby Charlton, Jeff Hurst, all these World Cup players. But that's who I was playing against in the early weeks. You know, all of a sudden I'm at Upton Park on a Tuesday night, playing against Martin Peters and Jeff Hurst and Bobby Moore. You know, it's a big difference from Capello and etc. That's twice I've mentioned Capello. I must have something against him. I must be in the back of my head. So no, but you can understand. All of a sudden, I think I kind of arrived at a higher level. But my initial introduction wasn't all that good because I was on the bench at Stamford Bridge, and there'd been quite a bit of press about me getting run out of Scotland because I was supposed to be a hard player. And Chopper Harris was the #1 hard man in England. And of course, the press made a big thing of it, about me and him. But anyway, so Cantwell, the manager of Coventry, put me on the bench. So there's 20 minutes to go and we're getting beat 2-0, and he says to me, "Have you ever played up the front?" And I went, No. I says, "I didn't play up the front." He says, "Well, anyway, I'm going to chuck you on for the last 20 minutes. He says, "Just go up there and see what you can do." Anyway, we get a free kick just outside the box. He goes, "Yeah, on you go." So I run in. We all line up on the 18-yard line like that. And everybody shoving and pushing as you do. The free kick gets taken, and we all go up, and everybody falls back on the floor, and the ball goes right through to Bonetti. And as I'm getting up, Chopper Harris kicks me straight in the face, right in front of the referee. My nose goes, my cheek, everything. Kicked me straight in the face. So I jump up, and I start to chase him on Stamford Bridge. I've not touched the ball. So I'm now chasing Chopper Harris on the pitch like that. It's so funny, but because my nose is gone, I'm running after him going, "When I get you, I'm going to kill you." Even the Coventry City players were killing themselves laughing. Honestly, you couldn't make it up. He got booked. Nowadays, they would have hung him. He got booked. So anyway, the sponge man comes on, and in these days it was a sponge man, a bucket, cold water and a sponge, and he comes running on. This is his chance, and he smashes the sponge straight in my face, and my nose is going up and down. Oh, can you imagine it? And the water's freezing like that. And he says to me, "You'll have to come off." I said, "I've just come on, I'm not coming off." So I stayed on and played until the end of the game, honestly.
And I take it you didn't score.
I didn't score. Honestly, Christine, that's a true story. And they made this huge thing about it when they came back to Highfield Road, the clash and all that stuff. And they were interviewing me, and me being as bright as I am. "What are you going to do?" "I'm going to get him." God, Cantwell's going, "Oh no." So he calls me at the office. He says, "Whatever you do, the press are here, the TV are here. There is no way you can do anything." And I just kept sitting there going, "I'm having him. I'm having him," like that. What an idiot. So,
and did you ever get a chance to
well,
get
all throughout the game, I was going up for every corner, every long throw, everything. And all the Chelsea players were keeping me off like that, and he was running back and forth. It was like comedy cuts. I never got him. "Oh, you'll have to come off." I went, "I've just come on." Anyway, the press made a big thing of it. I was staying in this hotel down in Kenilworth, and they were all there taking pictures of my face, all strapped up and everything. That was about the 4th time I broke my nose, but it was broken for me by Chopper.
And then you had a good spell at coming, and then you went to, you say, Crystal Palace, and then Hibs, and then you ended up at East Fife.
East Fife, aye. Mm-hmm. That was interesting, working with the chairman there. He was a bit of a rogue. Nice rogue, but he was still a rogue. Jim, I can't remember his surname. But that was I wanted to go into coaching and management anyway, so that was a night when Eddie Turnbull had said to me after the Motherwell thing, I know you want to go into coaching. They said there's a nice job at East Fife, player manager. See you out. I'm now about 34, 35, so it's about time I get interested. And I went across there, and it was great. And player manager, well, I took myself off at half time one day, went into the dressing room, I went, get a stripped euro, and they're all looking who's coming off. I said, and I'm coming off, and I apologise for that performance. Never played again. Because I just knew, you can't do it. You're really old when you get to 35 in football. So, but it was a terrific experience. I really enjoyed it. I think I should never left Scotland. I went back down to England when I left here. I should have stayed here because I think I probably might have been manager here, or certainly at the Hearts, because we had a really good. We played Hearts in the Scottish Cup, and we got a no-score draw at Tynecastle. They came back and they beat us there, but I had a nice solid formation based on how Dunfermline used to play, the back four and everything. And to get a draw at Tynecastle in the quarter-final of the Cup was a good result for us. Take them back there and they just beat us. But it was good, and I enjoyed it. So that was a big step for me getting into the sort of management bit. Yeah.
Is there anything in your football career that you would have changed?
Well, there was opportunities cropped up, and you think back. It's all about I've done that or done this, and so it's all speculation and hypothetical. When I was at Oxford United as assistant manager, Fergie rang me up from Aberdeen and said to me, "Get your backside up here, I need an assistant." And I went, "Oh really?" I went, "Yeah, well I just moved from up here down there," sort of thing. And it meant going away back up there again. And we just had another baby, 6 weeks old at the time. It was just the wrong time. And I said, "I'll tell you," I said, "let me think about it overnight." I think Pat Stanton had been his assistant and he'd left. And he says, "I need an assistant at Aberdeen." He said, "I've got some team up here, I'm going to win everything." You know what Fergie's like, "I'm going to win everything." I'm going, "Nah, right, yeah, you're always saying that you win everything," which she did anyway. So we had a good chat about it overnight. My wife then was from London and I'm in Oxford. New baby. The whole thing just wasn't right. I couldn't go away up there and leave her. I said, Fergie, can't do it. I said, "I've got a nice job. I love being at Oxford. It's going well. Blah, blah, blah. I'm missing this and that." Went, "Oh, you're mental. Just get up here." You know what he's like. Nothing else matters. Just get the football. And he was dead right. They won. Aberdeen won this and that. And the guy he took from Forfar, Martin Knox, he finished up at Old Trafford. So you get these moments you think, "Well, what about that? What about this?" But then other things turn up that overshadow, make it better anyway. So
when you had your differences with referees, and you always said that was your problem about being up here, how do you think you would get on now with the referees?
Oh, I have no chance. Honestly, I'd have to. Well, I quite clearly couldn't play the kind of game that I used to play, where you go, if it's there, you go in and you get it. But I seriously didn't go out to harm anybody. It was just a more physical game then, and everybody, going back to Bert, Willie Callaghan would have you in a minute. It was just a different kind of game altogether, and I'm not advocating that we should kick each other to make it a good game, but it was much more competitive. And I remember going to a coaching seminar down in England, and Bobby Robson. I was sitting next to Bobby Robson, and this chap that was doing the seminar was actually suggesting, I thought at the time, that football should become a non-contact sport. And because I was sitting next to Bobby Robson and I was younger, I thought, did I hear that right? That must have been a mistake. I'm not saying. I'll just sit and keep quiet. Next thing, Bobby Robson, hand goes up like that. Are you suggesting for 1 minute that football should be blah, blah, blah? So this is Bobby Robson. And he says, it'll definitely come to that. He says, it'll become a non-contact sport. And Bobby Robson just started laughing. He said, no, in my lifetime anyway. Killing himself laughing. And I looked at him, oh, quite right, I'm joining in. But this is what this chap that was doing this coaching thing was suggesting. And I think, no way. And I'm not suggesting for 1 minute you should be allowed to go through somebody from the back to get the ball and say, well, I got the ball, ref. You got the man as well, so that's not right. And the injuries can be horrendous. I mean, I've had a broken leg myself. But a bad big time tackle on my behalf. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that it should be we should have a dirty game. But tackling should be allowed. Tackling's an art.
I was going to say, there's an art in
an art in tackling, the timing, the coming out, getting a tackle in and coming out with the ball is an absolute art that some of us were quite good at, and I consider myself one of these people. I was quite good at that. Other things I wasn't good at, but I was good at that. And sometimes you did get the player, and it was your fault because you maybe mistimed it, but it wasn't deliberate. But then I was making good tackles and getting punished for them, and I knew damn fine it was a good tackle. And if I made a bad tackle, I'm sorry. You know, I made a bad tackle and I broke my leg. My fault. So I'm not suggesting the tackling should be stopped. So anyway,
are there any other changes you would make to the game?
I keep getting confused about the offside thing. About if you're interfering with play, who made the last touch, and all that. That drives me distraction. There's not a lot of stuff. You know, it just keeps the game goes on, doesn't it? This is a funny one. This passing it back from the kickoff.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that, I said, "What's it doing? It's gone that way." That kind of threw me, that one, the first time I saw that. And Jane's quite good. She went, "It's a new thing. Catch up." Put me in my place.
I've already asked you who your probably was the most difficult opponent, but who did you enjoy playing against?
I just enjoyed playing against anybody and everybody, sort of thing. I would never say I enjoyed playing against him because it was easy. I didn't really want it to be easy. You want to feel you've achieved something when you come off the park. If you're just strolling about and the ball you're playing is rubbish, you're not making much of a contribution to defending. Defending your team. You want a bit of Barney, don't you? And really good stuff, sort of thing, you know. So, just get out there and just get stuck in. That would nature of the game, isn't it? Get stuck in, sort of thing. Jimmy Johnson. He used to annoy me at times because he'd beat you and then come back and beat you again. He used to infuriate me at times. But I can't. I just enjoyed it. Liked the physical side of it. Because I used to box. Boxing was the thing I did when I was younger.
Right.
So, and I still follow the boxing. So I like a physical kind of thing, you know.
You obviously enjoyed the camaraderie in the club at that time with the guys that you played with, and they obviously enjoyed it as well. And I think, and everybody we've spoken to, no matter what era, they all say that the camaraderie here at Vernon, irrespective of the era, was really good.
It's always been good. It's been fabulous. The team that I played in, were just, as I say earlier on about the army thing, and I was army material. These guys could have been squaddies. They were just brilliant. They're fantastic guys. Great memories. It's good when you get older and look back. And I sit at the games on a Saturday with the former players, when there's guys from my era, and you sit there and it's just like old boys, eh? The old boys club kind of thing, you know. And someone say, "Remember that time?" And away it goes. It's just fantastic. They're a great bunch of great boys who run through a brick wall for you. And when we used to go on tour, what a scream it used to be. I'll tell you this is a good one, this will finish you off. We're playing Man City down in I think it was either San Francisco or Los Angeles. Do you know when President Kennedy's brother got shot?
Mhm.
The other Kennedy,
Robert.
Robert.
Mhm.
That was San Francisco, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. Anyway, we're standing in the foyer of the hotel, and somebody come running and said, "Kennedy's been shot." And I went, "Fuck, what did they do for a keeper?" Man said his goalkeeper was Kennedy. They looked at me like that and went, "You Egypt, what?" The politician, yeah, Wally. What would they do for a keeper? Oh, God. The first time I told that to Jane, she just got and walked right out of the room. What have I got here? I honestly said that. That's the gospel truth. What would they do for a keeper? Oh, God. Because we were playing Man City. It was Los Angeles because we played in the Olympic Stadium. Oh, I think back in that.
You were talking about that. You were lost in Dunfermline for years after you had left here and you were lost in Dunfermline, and then you came back here. I think in 2007, and you were inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I was, yeah.
And that seemed to start your love affair with Dunfermline all over again.
What an honour, eh? It's just incredible how things work out. I'm ever indebted to Ian that worked in the office then for looking for me and finding me and bringing me back for that, because that was the start of it. I just drifted out of football, you know. I was concentrating and just getting on with my life, kind of thing. As I said, somebody said to me, "Why did you leave football?" I said, "Football left me because I tried to stay in it, and I worked with Robert Maxwell at Oxford United, and it going well. Just couldn't get a job anywhere." I think if I had stayed with East Fife, I really believe that I would have had a career in management. You know, going down there was a bigger issue down there, and I could just one of these things, just disappeared.
Yeah. And
all of a sudden, I get a phone call. It's incredible. It was a pal of mine that was in the car. I was in taxiing, and I used to take this chap. It was turned out to be my best friend. Him and I used to go to Highbury together. Unfortunately, he passed away 2 years ago at 92. And he said to me, Dunfermline were in the cup final, and he said to me this Friday afternoon, we were driving in London, and he said, "I thought you'd be up in Scotland at the cup final." I said, "No," I said, "I've drifted out of football now." He said, "But usually clubs in the cup final look for their former players to bring them up as guests." I said, well, not heard anything, sort of thing, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, it's Friday, and he got out of the car and he phoned the club. He said, "Just in case you're looking for Roy Barry, this is his number." And of course I get a call. "This is the blah 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 thing," and I went, "Yeah, right, it's a wind up, isn't it?" "No, I just got your call from Albert Irvin." He was a famous artist friend of mine. Well, he was. And I said, "Are you serious?" He went, "Yeah." He says, "Can you get back up? Can you come to the cup final as a guest?" Friday afternoon, he said, "We've been looking for you." I said, "Oh, it's a bit late." He said, "But we've been looking for you for years." And it's true. And I couldn't make it. Obviously, it wasn't. Wouldn't have worked out. But then he got in touch again. I come up, and then it just goes. Just now I'm a supporter.
Yeah.
I just honestly class myself as a Dunfermline supporter. As simple as that. Just love it up here. Strange, how things turn out. Because I had the life in London and went to Highbury with Bert. And that was my football sort of thing, you know. And then it just one phone call turned it all around. Amazing.
Shall we say, affection for Dunfermline Athletic continues?
Absolutely.
Even after your playing days here.
Oh, I just love the club. Do you know at the end? You know, on a Saturday when the game finished, I'm knackered. Honestly, I'm so involved. I'm exhausted when I come on. When we go home and get indoors, I sit, put a track on, and I just sit like that. I'm exhausted, honestly.
Have you been playing that all the time for them?
I nearly got subbed. Honestly, Jane, sit still. I can't help it. Honestly, you play the game, don't you? It's Craig will tell you.
Yeah.
I love the club to bits. I really do. It's great. I understand how people get wrapped up in their club. It's great. As you're a player, it's a different. You just get on with what you do. And as I said earlier, the nature of the industry, you're with a club and then you move on to another club and another club. But then you kind of find a route. Well, I found mine, and I came back. And of course, the other big thing as well, it does help that the way I've been treated is fantastic. That's a big. If I wasn't treated well, but people have taken me in, and people like me. That helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When people like you, doesn't matter who you are or what you are. If somebody likes you, it's good. People seem to like me, and they like the history, and I like the history. And it's just fantastic. If I'm standing outside and a man will come up with his wee grandson with a scarf on, see this man here. I used to watch him when I was your age. And the wee boy's going, looking at you like that, like you're some sort of god or something, eh? That's just incredible, isn't it? That feeling. So that's it.
Well, I can honestly say,
It's brilliant, eh?
It was been a pleasure speaking to you
my
and
pleasure.
getting your views on football and everything else that you've.
Get me started talking about this club, and it'll always be fun.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christina. Thank you too, Craig, once again.